Hi, Sunny 1079.
Hey, it's Paul Reiser calling in.
Is this actually Paul Reiser?
No, that's not going to happen. We have many guys pretending to be. It's just easier that way.
I didn't recognize your
we
voice.
can cover more ground that way.
Well, that sounds fantastic. I can talk to each character from each one of your fantastic shows.
That's how we do it here. We spare no expense.
Well, welcome to Sunny 1079. This is so exciting to be talking to you, Paul.
It's exciting for me. Are you kidding? It's made my day.
I have been a fan of yours since way back in the day of My Two Dads.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I appreciate that, and that's why I'm calling. I'm going door to door, calling anybody who's ever seen me in anything.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I've seen you in a bunch of stuff. And you know what's so cool, though, for My Two Dads fans, like people my age loving you, are the age I was back then loving you now in Stranger Things. So you've got a whole new crew of fans.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. What's funny, when I started, all I wanted to do was be a stand-up. That was what I loved doing. And then I got really lucky, and all these things happened, and I did Mad About You for all those years, and I didn't really get out there and do stand-up for the longest time. And now I got a little more time on my hands. I'm going to get out as often as I can. So it's funny, people come to see me at the show, which, by the way, I'll be at the Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale on February 24th. But a lot of people who will have seen my stand-up are coming for that. But there are people who just have sort of like this curiosity that, wait, the guy from Stranger Things is going to try to be funny? Like, yeah, somebody explain it, would you?
Now, so you started out as a comedian and then you got into acting, or you just wanted to be a comedian but you started as an actor?
Well, no, I got into stand-up first, and that was all I wanted to do. I just loved comedy. I grew up listening to George Carlin and Richard Pryor and Robert Klein and those guys, and that's what I was drawn to. And, I did some acting in college, but it was really just to get laughs. I didn't want to be an actor. I just like being talking and getting laughs. So what happened was I accidentally stumbled into an office where they were casting the movie Diner, and I got that, and that opened up all these doors, and here we are years later, and now I'm finally getting back to do more stand-up.
Exactly.
So it took me a while.
Well, we're so excited. Like you said, Parker Playhouse on the 24th. That's right here in West Palm / Fort Lauderdale. Do you think it's hard for comedians to start out as a comedian these days? Like you being the veteran, and everybody knows and loves you from so many things, that we can come and already feel comfortable. As a new comedian coming out, do you think that's a smart thing to do?
In a way, it's almost easier because there are so many ways to be out there. It's not just 3 television networks.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 streaming platforms, and there are people who are famous who've never been on TV at all.
You mean all the TikTok
putting
people?
Out clips put on social media. So there's a lot more access to get out there.
There are so many funny people that I see on TikTok, and I'm like, I know I'm going to see that person later on. Somewhere I'm going to see that person.
Yeah. The flip side of that is there's just so many people. So you're up against, it's harder to get attention in a way.
Exactly. Now, with the Kominsky Method, let's talk about that. You're in that with Michael Douglas. They make you look really kind of old in that, don't they?
They did, but the good news is when I take off the makeup and the bald wig, I look fantastic compared to that. So people go, wow, you lost a lot of weight. I go, well, it depends what time you saw the show.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. You lost 30 pounds in 7 minutes.
So you're with the amazing Alan Arkin in that one, with Nancy Travis, and then talking about Stranger Things, you're with all these new young people. Do you like working with the new up-and-comers like Millie Bobby Brown and Finn and Noah? And, of course, you got Winona Ryder in there, too. Or do you like kind of being with your old crew of the people you grew up with?
It's so funny. When I get on Kominsky Method, and Alan Arkin was somebody I was always such a fan of, and he's one of my idols, and getting to work with him was a thrill. Michael Douglas, of course, is Michael Douglas. So I'm kind of sitting there wide-eyed and can't believe that I get to work with these guys. And then I get on Stranger Things, and I'm the old guy there, and like all these kids. And they were great, and I came in the second season. They were already this huge hit. So it was a little bit like trying to find a place to sit at the cafeteria in high school. It's like, am I going to be made welcome here? But they were all great. They were all so nice. And Millie Bobby Brown, who has 17 billion followers, and is a huge presence out there, just couldn't be sweeter. Just a really lovely young woman, and kind and great on the set and great to the crew, and just so was lucky. I've been lucky getting to work with all these nice people of different ages.
But I am bummed about this new news I heard. Reboot
Yes.
on Hulu. What's up with that?
I know.
That was the funniest premise of a
I've just been out telling
show.
people, you got to watch the show Reboot. You got to watch it. At first, I was out telling everybody, watch it on Hulu because it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I heard, gee, they're not getting the numbers and the response they want, so I was telling people, go watch it, make sure we get picked up. And then they decided to not renew it. So I was really bummed because it's a really fun show with a great cast. And it's a show about a television show trying to come back, and it's just really funny.
It is so funny.
So hopefully somebody else, Netflix or maybe Apple TV, will pick it up. I hope so, because it was. We just all wanted to make some more. We had such a great time doing it.
Exactly, and your cast there too. I mean, you are so lucky that you get on these show. But then people probably think the same of you. Ooh, Paul Reiser's coming. But you are always.
It's quite a thrill for them, believe me. When they see me pull up, you can just see, Keegan-Michael Key and Johnny Knoxville going, we are just honored and humbled to be on the same stage with me. Yeah. No, but there, it is a great show. I hope people watch it, and maybe we do get to make some more. But they always say play tennis with somebody better than you because your game will get better. I always think that only works for one guy on one side of the court. The other guy is going, I got to play with a guy who sucks.
Stop.
It doesn't work for everybody.
So what about Mad About You? Is that going to come back maybe for a third kind of round? I did enjoy it.
We did. We never wanted. Not that we didn't want to, but we just thought we ended it in 1999, and we said we did it really well. We ended it well. We landed the plane, walk away, and then a few years ago, everybody was doing. 5 years ago, people were first doing all these reboots, so they were sort of coming to us, and Helen Hunt and I had to at least talk about it. We said, well, it really would be fun to play together again. We missed that. And then we thought, well, what would the show be about? And then we said, wait a minute, if it's 20 years later, that baby is now leaving the nest. That's a really interesting moment to write about. So we did it once. We did 12 episodes. We said, we'll do it once. And there are no plans or particular desire to do it again. It was great. But it's like, I'm not a fan of rebooting things, really. It's like, leave it alone. You did it, it's done, and move on to the next new exciting thing.
I love a reboot because I love to reminisce. I want all of my old shows to come back, and I want to see what they're doing. I do.
You know what, though? My initial reservation about it was whenever you see a show come back or you see a reunion show on an award show or something, to me, it's just an opportunity for people to go, wow, he put on weight. Wow, she's not looking good. Boy, she had some work done. It's like suddenly you're at the circus, and I don't want to be that guy.
I suppose I can see that. But you play the really super old guy in Kominsky. So, they'd all be like, wow, look at him. Doesn't he look great?
Yeah, doesn't he look great? So you can come to the Parker Playhouse on February 24th. You can say that all to your heart's content. You go, my goodness, he's a strikingly handsome man.
Exactly. And speaking of that, tell me everything we can expect. What kind of show is this?
Here's my answer to that. Have you ever seen Circus Soleil?
Yes.
It's the opposite of that.
No flips?
So whatever jumping and twirling, there's none of that, and everything else. You'll see everything but high wire acts. It's you know what I tell people, I'm not smart enough to make anything up, so I can only talk about what's happening to me with my kids, my wife, and me trying to figure out the world. And luckily, the audience is laughing because they're going, sounds like me.
Right.
Because we're all going through the same stuff together, and especially now at this point in my career. When people come into a theater, I swear it's like getting together with old friends. Like we've been together a long time, and they feel they know me. I feel like I know them. So it's a fun. I tell people, come, we can have an hour and a half of laughing together, and then I'll drive you home. Couldn't be
isn't
easier.
that nice of you?
Yes, I do that. It's a service I provide.
I love that. I think that's fantastic. And I can't wait to see you at the Parker Playhouse. It's going to be on the 24th. Paul Reiser, you are just one of the absolute greatest of Hollywood.
Oh, you're very kind. I hope to see you there and looking forward.
Fantastic. Thank you, Paul. Have a super great day.
Same to you. Thanks.